All right, so hello and welcome to the new episode of Gym Rants. It's more or less not going to be a rant in this video, but still, we can get going. It's been a while, I'm aware, but wanted to talk about this for a while. Finally, I had the time. So let's get it out of the way. WWE tryouts. Well, it certainly was one of the best experiences ever, but I would like to talk about it a bit more in depth. So, how it actually happened is I have been following and watching WWE since I'm pretty much can remember, maybe five, maybe six as a kid. And I always wanted to be there, like I saw, for example, guys like Batista, I saw guys like Kane, Big Show. And as a kid, I always said, wow, this should be me. I can picture myself doing this. I also said the same thing about Jeff Hardy and Rey Mysterio, but obviously I'm way too past that now. But yeah, so that's basically how my passion with this business started. And I always dreamed about being there. And nowadays, same idols can go with people like Roman Reigns, Drew McIntyre. I really do see like the physique, the strength, the charisma. And I also, if I were to ever see myself in like the field of entertainment, I would like to be that. It'll be like that, be like those guys. I really have a lot of respect for those people. But so when I was in Vietnam, I applied through the WWE recruitment webpage. I didn't expect anything. I just like did it for basically the fun of it because I do believe that I have the physique and personality and the unique, let's say, look to be there. So I applied, and then to my surprise, I actually got a message on Instagram saying that they would like to schedule an interview and see if it actually can be a fit. So yeah, I had the interview. They were really nice. I had it with Anna from WWE Recruitment, and she was really nice. She helped me out throughout the way, and on the following steps, basically, I had to send a couple of pictures, send some promo work, talking about who I am, and then they organized everything for me. Again, it was due to visas and everything very last minute because for a long time I thought that I will not be able to go. But later they rearranged everything and it was really professional and it was really good how they organized it. So I'm really grateful for that. And I made my way to UK. So it was the first time I ever been to UK as well. So that was also pretty much an experience, I would say. And then I went there. I was the first one to arrive to the performance center, and wow, like the performance center did deliver in my mind. I expected like something really flashy and unique, and it was all of that. Uh, it was filled with memorabilia, and for like a long time fan, it felt crazy to be in a building like that. And then they So how I can say this is that they really take care of their talent and they really take this really, really serious. So I did the medical checks. They basically looked at everything, physio, heartbeats. We talked about my past and my current medical status. And it was really good to know that at least my blood pressure is pretty nice. I haven't checked that in a really, really long time. So I'm happy that it was also pretty fine. And what ended up happening is that we got pictures taken, a couple of pictures that I've shared on Instagram already. And in the first day, it was pretty much just like an onboarding phase where they also tracked our vertical, let's say, and speed and explosiveness and strength in some aspects like throwing medicine balls, jumping, and broad jumps, running. And what I noticed in the first day, obviously, is that there were so many talents with so many different backgrounds. Like, I was the only strongman and I was the only Turkish person there, but wow, so many backgrounds we had. We had sumo, we had CrossFit, we had sprinters, we had national champs, we had Olympians, we had judo, um basically whatever you can imagine. And we were separated in two groups, not from the beginning, but from talent-wise. We had the professional wrestling group, people with actually experience in this field, and athletes, people with different backgrounds, with minimal or to no experience that just showed up there for the tryouts. Obviously, they don't expect you to know how to cut a perfect promo or basically be proficient in wrestling by any means. So there was not that much stress going into this as well because I knew that there were no expectations from me to actually be able to deliver everything on a perfect basis. It's not like your regular job interview, obviously, where you apply for a job and they expect you to know about it. Here, you're invited purely because you have the looks, you have the charisma, you look marketable in that sense, and you are an athlete, so you're capable of what's learning and developing and adapting to a newer sport, obviously. So there, I got to meet a lot of people, a lot of amazing people with huge capabilities, with amazing backgrounds and everything. But that was basically the first day where we got to know each other, and the team was really amazing. Everyone was supporting each other with like constant shouting, clapping, working together as a coherent group and everything. So I did not feel as if I'm in a place where people are stabbing each other in the back or more or less hoping for the other one's downfall so you can go in front of the other person. No, I felt like it was a really sportive and constructive environment. And it's crazy to me that with so many people from different backgrounds and so many people with different lives basically coming together under one purpose and supporting each other so well and working together so well. That was really crazy for me. But I'm happy that it was that way. If it was the other way around, obviously that will be a different scenario. But the group was also amazing. And what's even crazier is that getting coached by people that you grew up watching on TV or you played on video games, basically, and having the best company, the best entertainment company, in my opinion, in the world to spend their time and energy and invest in looking at you in a tryout is is really otherworldly. It's crazy for me. It's one of the best accomplishments I feel like I could have gotten in my life as an athlete because this is like a whole different like world for me. Like a company like WWE coming, noticing my work and saying we would like to get to know you better. It gives me that sense that I made it and my work is like visible. People see my work, people respect my work, and people would like to get to know me a bit better. And this is just purely amazing for me. I cannot even explain. It still feels unreal, and I'm pretty sure it's the case for many other people that have been there as well. But that was the first day, and then we went back to our hotels. We got to know each other even further. And then the second day started really early, and I did not get any breakfast whatsoever. It was between 8 and 8:30, and I cannot eat that early. And especially when I'm stressed about something, I cannot. I mean, obviously, there was not a chip on my shoulder or something, but I felt the need, and I feel like that goes with every athlete. I felt the need to perform, to if you are given such an opportunity, you have to deliver at some point. Even though it's not expected from you to be perfect, it's expected from you to try and show the effort. So even if I'm like scared of heights, which I am, if you ask me to go on top and jump, I will do it. If you ask me to do rolls, which they did, and Jesus, that's another scenario, which I'm terrible with rolls, but I did my best to learn there. I will completely do it. I will have trust in the coaches as they request it. They say, trust us. And who else to trust if I'm not trusting the coaches that have been in this industry for probably longer than I have been here in the world? So, and I'm not saying this obviously just to glaze it, but the WWE as a company and the coaches there, they're all world quality. And you can see it with the athletes and the pro wrestlers that have been invited there as well. So that gives me that sense of security already as to everyone here knows what they're doing to a really high extent. So on the second day, we started with cardio work, And I will have to tie this to strongman at some point, and I will also tie what's following to strongman as well, because we did running the ropes, the rolls, shoulder roll, left, right, front rolls, and all of these. I will tie to strongman, and I have to say, I think majority of lifting athletes, like people that do heavy lifting, like strongman and powerlifting, we really are lacking the mobility and athleticism, because from a strongman standpoint, my body usually stays still and the weight goes up and down, or I carry the weight from one place to the other rather than me going up and down and doing moves and being athletic to that sense. So I immediately noticed that, wow, I'm not athletic whatsoever. I'm really built like a iron bar and I cannot move. So I'm not flexible whatsoever and I need to fix that. And that's one thing that I took from these tryouts. No matter what the result is, I actually started training more cardio, more mobility, and more athleticism, more explosiveness, jumping, rolls, and all of these. So it also taught me a lot from an athletic standpoint as to I should take care of these things if I want to be a fully athletic person, like a full-on athlete. And they taught us how to do roles, and they did an amazing job at it. Someone with no experience, such as me, actually managed to do roles, even though I'm still pretty bad with my right shoulder roll. But yeah, that's another scenario. That's on me. And then we did the running across the ropes. And I have to say, it's not as it is looking on TV. Those ropes are pretty tight. They like really dig into your back when you go and run into them, and it actually hurts. So it was also crazy to experience that. And we also trained taking a bump, which basically means like falling down. And that's another thing that I really learned there, is that as humans, obviously, when we are walking, when we're running, when we're jumping and everything, it's always our first instinct to avoid falling down. Nobody really on purpose falls down if you're obviously training for it. So taking a bump and going down on your back with like slamming, it's it's such a new experience, because obviously you have to trust in the ring. You have to trust in your opponent and trust in your body to be able to take it. And that's so crazy that on purpose you have to fall, and you have to fall good. It has to look good, it has to look aesthetic, and it shouldn't look like you're scared of what you're doing, because obviously then no one will buy it, you know? So I learned a lot on these following 2 days. And with the extensive cardio work, it immediately got better on the second day, by the way, because we did the same drills on day two, and my cardio immediately got there. So that's one thing. If you're doing weights, if you're doing strongman and powerlifting, and you feel like you're lacking on a couple of things like athleticism, like cardio, it's not going to take ages for you to get better at it. You are already athletic. You're already built for a lot of things. So I feel like lifting a lot of weights over your head or holding it is already the difficult part. But since you're not used to doing the other things like running, like sprinting, like jumping, broad jumps, vertical jumps, or rolling, it seems so difficult at first, but it is really easy. Since your body is already used to doing this stuff, you can teach it pretty fast to yourself. And that helped me gain a lot of confidence on day two. Even though I was far from perfect, and like when I say far from perfect, I actually mean it. I was really far from perfect. And that's why I'm really grateful to people that was helping me there, that was supporting me throughout the way. And especially when we had to do a couple of things as a team, and I'm obviously the slower one when we have to roll from one side to the other. People always supported me. People always went at my speed and helped me learn along the way. Same with the coaches, and I really appreciate that. So this was on that sense a really otherworldly experience, as I said. Got to learn a lot, got to do a lot. It was really, really exhausting and extensive, primarily because it's not something that I'm used to. And second, obviously, the urge to deliver is there. So you're forcing yourself, you're pushing yourself to do more. But overall, it actually was really difficult work. And when I see what's going on TV, when I see how they're doing it, I really realize now I'm looking at it in a different way. I feel like it's homework when I'm playing the video games or when I'm watching wrestling on TV. I can see what they're doing, and it's building it up from the basics. So when I see people doing really fancy moves, I'm like, oh wow, okay, it started from like the rolls that we're doing. So you have to be able to do the rolls so you can build your way up there and add new things. But essentially everything comes from basics. So now looking at it, I have so much more respect because it takes, and no matter what people say about pro wrestling, it really takes a lot of effort to be able to deliver on that screen and a lot of effort to be able to do all of these things. All of these people are amazing athletes, and you don't have to exactly have a professional background or anything, but it's really difficult athletic work. And I will say these people are among the best at what they're doing, hence why they're in WWE. So that's a complete like different world, I would say. So I have a lot more respect to business at the moment. I see how difficult it is, and I especially noticed it when I was watching the professionals there, the experienced wrestlers organizing matches between them, because you have about 6 minutes to tell a long in-ring story that you can sell. It has to look good and it has to be believable. And watching them organize the choreography, talk between each other, and put on a whole scenario in such a short time, with not knowing each other so well as well. Obviously, the chemistry is not going to be there with everyone. It was insane to notice how well organized and how much thought and effort and athletic prowess actually goes into this thing. So that's why I would say it's a humbling and amazing experience, and I'm so happy I got to be a part of it. And the second part, obviously, with all the athletics and wrestling aside, is the promo part, where you actually talk and either sell a match or sell yourself as a character. Because wrestling is one part of the thing, but you also have to be a character. You have to be someone that is marketable on TV, that people believe in, that people want to see more of. And that automatically comes from how you talk and how you basically sell yourself. And it was really crazy to get a microphone and like actually have the feeling of being on TV in a WWE screen on national television. It's it was a crazy experience as well because the producers are also among the best in the world, and everyone was so anxious about it because obviously it's not something that we do in our life. We're not trying to make our workouts, we're not trying to sell our PRs as like something otherworldly, but here you have to sell, you have to talk, you have to make it believable, you have to be charismatic, because obviously you don't see me going and be like, this Sunday I'm coming for that strongman championship because I'm all about intensity, because I'm this, because I'm that. Obviously no, because it's not that type of show business, but here you have to do it. And I feel like I adapted to that really well, and probably it's because I'm having a lot of meetings in my overall 9 to 5 at the moment. So I'm used to talking to a public audience. Obviously, not in that sense. I'm not saying, yeah, I will come for that Q1 report. No, not in that sense, obviously. But you have to have that confidence in front of talking to people. And it's, again, was not something that I'm used to. Acting and talking, not that much I'm used to. And they managed to get the best out of everyone. They somehow included acting in all of these, and I'm pretty sure many of us started from the bottom when it comes to acting and public confidence and self-confidence in that sense, and we all got to some stage higher. We all got to see different stories, different personalities, different ways of delivering your speech, and it's insane to me how much effort and how much energy and skill actually goes into telling all these stories. So I feel like ever since that, I'm a really completely changed person. I feel different about my athletic work, about my personality. And because of that, I again would like to thank WWE for the opportunity to actually go there and present my work. And thanks a lot for teaching me a lot of things as well, from mobility to athleticism to actual speech. So that will be basically all for this episode. You can ask any type of questions in the comments, or you can reach out to me on Instagram. I love to talk more about this, and I would love to see where this actually goes. But definitely, this is going to be a part of my life right now. And again, thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the upcoming episodes. I do not know what we're going to talk about in the upcoming episode, but yeah, bye.